welcome everybody to week 6 already. Wow, week 6 of the college football season. I'm here on the the Jordan and Dad show. A lot of these games this week, you would think they would be much better if you're looking at the beginning of the season. For example, we're going to jump right in here. The first game of the week, the LSU Tigers at the number 18 Florida Gators. LSU's had a couple sad losses to start the season. Of course, that one to Wisconsin, which Wisconsin's a good team, but they only scored 14 points in that game, and Leonard Fournette has not had the season that we all thought he was going to have. And then they lost to Auburn not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. So, and then for Florida, your only blemish is that loss to Tennessee. So, Tennessee's a great team. So, in this game, I'm going to have to pick Florida, though. Even though, my goodness, what's his name? Ed Orgeron is one of the, I think that's how you say his name, is one of the greatest interim coaches, the past few years. He's come in at LSU, he got them a win last week, and then if you remember a few years ago, USC, he had that big run. So, but I am going to have to pick Florida in this game. It's hard to pick Florida because I just really can't see LSU being 3-3, but that's how this season is. Alright, the next game, another example, the Texas Longhorns against the number 20 Oklahoma Sooners. Oklahoma is having a sad season themselves, losing to Houston and Ohio State. I think they should have won at least one of those games, but both have been sad losses. And for Texas, that win against Notre Dame looks good, but now, Notre Dame's not that good, and neither is Texas, so I'm going to pick Oklahoma, however, in this one they did come off a nice win against TCU. Alright, now we're going to bring in my partner, Craig Dad Cruz. I forgot to let you give your insight on the first game. Go ahead and cram 2 in here.
Let's recap that first game. Who's home and who's away?
Florida's at home.
Oh boy, I'm going to pick Florida in this one. The Swamp is a tough place to beat Florida. And who's home in the second game?
Texas against number 20 Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry.
Yeah, that's a tough one because both teams really didn't pan out to be what they could have been. We're going to pick Texas in this one. It's Red River rivalry, so Texas is going to have a good crowd, and they're going to be pumped up. So Texas in that one too.
That's extremely hard to say. Red River rivalry. Wow. Okay. All right. The next game, a surprise team and a team that maybe is not that big of a surprise. The Maryland Terrapins, who are 4-0 and not yet ranked, against the Penn State and Indy Lions. Now, since Maryland has come into the conference, these two teams have pretty much hated each other. Maryland's having a good year this year. Now, granted, they haven't beaten that many good teams. However, they did beat Purdue 50-7, and that's kind of what the powerhouses in the Big Ten do to Purdue. They beat them 50-7. So maybe Maryland's good. I don't know. I am going to pick them in this game. I think I haven't watched many of their games, but I've watched a lot of highlights because watching SportsCenter and Scott Van Pelt. But he's a Maryland fan, so I'm going to pick Maryland in this one.
Unfortunately, I'm going to pick Maryland as well. I'm not a big Maryland fan because they're not really any good. But unfortunately, I do agree with you on this one.
Alright, the next game, the game of the week. College Game Day will be there. They're visiting the number 9 Tennessee Volunteers for the third time this season. If you remember, in week 2 against Virginia Tech, and a couple weeks ago last week against Florida, right? No, 2 weeks ago against Florida, and now this week in top 10 matchup with the number 8 Texas A&M Aggies. This is definitely going to be a good game. I think Tennessee will win the West this year, the East, and they've just shown that they can win games. Just somehow, they always win games. That great Hail Mary last week, that was phenomenal. So I'm going to pick Tennessee to take this one.
Yeah, unfortunately and fortunately, I have picked Tennessee to win the SEC and go to the playoffs. So I have to pick Tennessee, not just with my heart, but also with my head.
All right. Next we have the number 25 Virginia Tech Hokies at the number 17 North Carolina Tar Heels. North Carolina has kind of panned out as expected. They did have that loss to Georgia, and again, Georgia's not that good. But they have won 4 straight since then. If you remember last year, they lost in week 1 to a much worse than Georgia, South Carolina team. But they did win like 11 straight after that. So, and then for Virginia Tech, they were kind of quiet this year. I haven't really known much about them. They do have that week 2 loss to Tennessee, but Tennessee's they win games. So I'm going to pick North Carolina. They are at home, and I know they play very well.
Yeah, we're agreeing an awful lot this week. North Carolina is not as bad a team as I thought they would be this year. They definitely have the giant slayer mentality. So I'm going to pick. I want Virginia Tech to win the game. Again, this is a coin flip, heads or tails. We're going to go with North Carolina. They seem to be doing well right now.
Alright, the next game, and this is honestly, maybe there are only 9 good games this week, because I'm not sure why this game is exactly on here. We have the Indiana Hoosiers at the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, if you look here, if they show it here, I'm not sure. Okay, 99% of all people have picked Ohio State. I'm going to pick Ohio State, obviously. I'll probably move this to my 10 game. Again, I'm not saying Indiana has 0 chance, but I'm not sure why this game is exactly on the pick'em. But I am going to pick the Buckeyes.
Yeah, we're going to have to go with the Buckeyes, too. I have them winning the Big Ten. I cannot go against my head or my heart. I think it's going to be great. Let's go Buckeyes.
Alright, the next game, and another good game this week.
Is this the first week that the Buckeyes were on the college pick'em?
No, the game against Oklahoma, they were on it.
That's right.
Alright, next we have the number 1 team of the nation, according to the AP poll, the Alabama Crimson Tide, at the number 16 Arkansas Razorbacks. Another trap game maybe for the Crimson Tide. Now they did win against Ole Miss in their first big test of the year. They barely squeaked out of that one. And Arkansas is a much improved team, great coach in Brett Bielema. This will be a great game. I have a feeling that this may come down to whoever has the ball last. The smart pick here is Alabama, and I like being smart, so I'm going to pick Alabama, but I am not, I'm not completely confident. Probably at 51% to 49%. Alabama struggled, well, not really struggled, but when you're Alabama and you only beat Kentucky by 4 touchdowns, there's something maybe wrong in there, but I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Kentucky is generally bottom to middle of the pack SEC team. Again, they have the mentality play along with teams, inconsistently. Alabama, because they were playing Kentucky, there's 28 points. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with of course, Alabama.
Alright, one of the big surprises of this year, definitely, the number 5 Washington Huskies. I never thought I'd say that. At the one of the most disappointing teams of the season, the Oregon Ducks. I don't really know much about Oregon, but I do know that Washington absolutely crushed Stanford last week. It was 44-6, and so Washington definitely flexed their guns last week. I am going to pick them to win big in this game, maybe by 28 points.
You say you're picking Washington to stop Oregon.
I am.
These kind of games are rivalry games, though. That's why it's a pick'em game. You do have to pick Washington, though. If you don't pick Washington, the odds of Washington losing this game are their defense is great. So Oregon is definitely a team that they could struggle with. I'm not going to put that out of the picture in my head, but definitely Oregon. Definitely Washington.
Yeah. All right. The number 23 Florida State Seminoles at another surprise team. And before I get to the game, there are a lot of disappointing teams this year and a lot of surprise teams. Normally, the the surprise teams don't end up doing well in the end. But I have a feeling, this year, ends that. Miami's looking fantastic this year. They could definitely put up a big fight with Clemson and Louisville. So, in this game against Florida State, who has been disappointing, they did have the loss to North Carolina this last week, and they did get absolutely crushed by Louisville. So I'm going to pick Miami in this one. They look like they could possibly make the playoff, maybe crack the top 5 by the time the first college football playoff rankings come out.
Wait. What are the two teams again?
23 Florida State and number 10 Miami.
And you're picking who?
Miami.
Right, that's my point. Florida State's going to win this game. They have it right. They should be ranked number. They should be that far back, but they're still great. Florida State.
All right, and the final game of the week, the UCLA Bruins against the Arizona State Sun Devils. UCLA has had a couple tough losses this year. I still think they're a good team. Arizona State, now they're 4-1, and they may be a team that can sneak up maybe in the Pac-12 South this year, like on a UCLA. I'm going to pick UCLA in this one. However, their 2 losses have been to good teams, and Arizona State's been in this pick'em a lot this year, and I haven't picked them, and they've won, but I still think UCLA is the better team in this situation.
UCLA versus Arizona State. One team could be 0-10 and the other one 10-0. One of those teams is going to smash the other no matter what the record. You're going to have to go with Arizona State in this one. I think you're right, because UCLA, even though I love their coach, I love their team, they're a smart school. It's just not going to happen. So, Arizona State.
Alright, thank you guys for watching. And a quick thing, I was going to do an MLB playoffs preview video, but I did not have time to get to that, as at the time this video is being recorded, the playoffs have already started. Blue Jays and Orioles are playing right now, so I think what I'll do is I'll just do like maybe a NLDS preview where the wild card game is already over, and we'll just get to the stuff that really matters. So that might come out Thursday, I think, because that's the off day. Oh well, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. Thank you for watching. Any last words for the people at home?
No, Dad out and go Cubs.
All right, see you next week.
Peace.
All right.